The days drifted by like smoke, light but heavy on the chest. Bella stayed quiet, sweeping the compound as if trying to erase memories from the earth. Her stepmother said little, only watching her with eyes that held too many unshed tears. The village women whispered, but Bella no longer heard. Their voices were far away, like wind passing through dry leaves. Then one morning, she woke before dawn and walked slowly to the edge of the village, where the tall trees met the mist. She stood beneath the branches for a long time, silent, her arms folded around herself. Her feet were bare, the ground cool beneath them. Somewhere nearby, a rooster crowed. She closed her eyes. In that stillness, she remembered everything, not the faces, not the names, but the weight. The tiny breaths that once filled her nights, the laughter that barely began before it faded. Each child had taken a piece of her, and now she was almost empty. But the wind whispered something different that morning. It brushed past her like a soft voice saying, "You are still here." She opened her eyes. Bella walked back to the compound and picked up a calabash. She filled it with water, washed her face, and sat in front of the house. For the first time in years, she watched the sun climb without turning away. Her stepmother stepped outside, surprised to see her smiling, just a little, but it was real. Later that week, a small group of women invited her to a gathering near the river. She hesitated, then nodded. When she got there, they didn't speak of children or pain. They sang songs old as the hills, full of stories, strength, and survival. Bella joined in, her voice rough at first, then steady. As weeks turned into months, Bella began to return to herself, not as the woman who had lost, but as one who had lived through loss and still stood. She started weaving again, her hands remembering patterns her heart had forgotten. Her stepmother watched her from the kitchen, quietly grateful. People no longer stared. They greeted her, gently, respectfully. The woman who had once carried sorrow like a shadow now walked with a stillness that commanded silence, not pity. And on some evenings, when the wind was calm and the moon full, Bella would sit by the orange tree, where memories once lay buried, and hum lullabies that only the stars could hear. Through dry leaves and silence, Bella Saturday. She didn't talk, didn't eat much. Day after day, she stayed under the iroko tree, watching ants carry crumbs, their movements more purposeful than her own. One evening, her stepmother came and knelt beside her. "This thing is not ordinary," she said gently. "We must go far, not to the doctor, not to church, but to someone who sees beyond the eyes." Bella nodded, slow and quiet. At dawn, they packed and left. They journeyed long, walking, riding, walking again, until they reached a village without a name. There, in a small mud house without windows, sat an old man. His skin was like cracked bark, and his eyes were still and deep, like quiet water. He didn't greet them. He only stared at Bella for a long time, then finally spoke. "She carries sorrow," he said. "Sorrow that returns again and again." Bella lowered her gaze. The man rubbed his chin and nodded slowly. "The next time she carries life, he must not step outside. No visitors. No prayers. No anointing. When the baby is born, carry him upside down, head down, legs up. Wrap him tightly, like a secret." Bella blinked. "Why?" The old man's eyes, unblinking, met hers. "If you carry him like the others, they will take him like the others." Her eyes widened. "For how long?" her stepmother asked. His voice dropped, almost to a whisper. "Until he grows teeth. Then continue." Bella asked again, her voice faint. "How long?" "Until he turns 10, the man replied. "Only then will the spirit give up." He stood, stepped into another room, and returned with a red cloth and a bottle filled with dark water. Use this when the time comes. He sat back down and closed his eyes. He said nothing more. Bella and her stepmother left in silence. That night, lying on her mat, Bella's heart whispered, 10 years? Can I carry him like that for 10 years? Her soul answered quietly, if that's what it takes, I will. Seasons passed. Bella lived like early morning, quiet and soft. She cooked, cleaned, and prayed in silence. Then one day, a man came to fix her father's roof. His name was Charles. He spoke gently and smiled like someone who had known pain. Every time he came, he greeted Bella with respect. Good afternoon, madam, he would say. She'd nod slightly, nothing more. But one day, he asked, can I come again? Not for the roof, for you. Her stepmother laughed. Another one has come. The village laughed too. She's too old, they said. Too dry. Finished. Can she even give him a child? But Charles didn't listen. He married her quietly. No fanfare, no dancing. Just hands joined under the sun. For months later, Bella noticed something different. She woke and spat. Her back ached. Her feet swelled. Her stepmother watched closely. You're glowing, she said. Something is inside. Bella shook her head. No. I'm too old. At the clinic, the nurse smiled. Congratulations. 5 weeks. Bella blinked, clutching her wrapper. Tears came, not of grief, but soft, warm ones. Tears that felt like a beginning. That night, she didn't tell Charles. She told her stepmother. The old woman wiped her face. It has started again. But this time, we won't make mistakes. Before the week ended, they returned to the herbalist. He was already waiting, as though the wind had spoken to him. She carries one again, he said. But this one can stay. He turned to Bella. No mistakes. No visitors. No prayers from strangers. No hands on your belly, except your own. Do not leave the compound, not even for rain. Bella sat still. She spoke just one word. Yes. He reached into his bag, brought out a bundle wrapped in red cloth and a calabash tied with cowries. When the baby comes, carry him upside down. Not once. Not twice. Every day until he grows teeth, and even after. Until he turns 10. Her stepmother gasped. 10 years. The man nodded. That's when the danger ends. Bella's heart trembled. 10 years. But she remembered the graves. The cold bodies. The tiny names she once whispered in the dark. And she said again, yes. Back home, her stepmother locked the gate with a heavy padlock. She told the neighbors Bella had traveled. No one came in. No one left. Charles stayed in the city, sent money, asked questions. The answers were always short. Inside the compound, Bella stayed wrapped in her cloth. She drank roots. She prayed without sound. She didn't peep through the gate. Didn't wave at children. She became like a shadow. Outside, life went on, festivals, weddings, births, deaths. Inside, Bella waited, silent and still. Then one night, the sky shattered. Thunder roared. Rain hammered the roof. Bella screamed. Her back arched. Her hands clutched the mat. He's coming, she cried. Her stepmother ran, water, blade, cloth. As if summoned by the wind, the herbalist appeared, soaked, silent. He knelt beside Bella, placed a hand on her belly, and said, push. With one final cry, the baby arrived. He didn't cry, he screamed. Loud. Strong. alive. The herbalist held him up. His skin glowed like sunrise. He turned to Bella. Back him. Upside down. She asked no questions. She wrapped him tightly in the red cloth, head down, legs up, and tied him to her back like something priceless. From that moment, she never stopped. Every morning. Every night. For 1 year, then 2. She carried him the same way. Children pointed. Mama, that woman's baby is upside down. Some laughed. Some whispered, she's cursed. A witch. But Bella never responded. She fed her son, bathed him, sang softly. She carried him upside down even when he could walk, even when he could speak. Mama, why am I always like this? He once asked. She kissed his feet. It's how I keep you safe. She took him to school, still strapped, still upside down. Children laughed. He looks like a chicken drying in the sun. But the boy didn't cry. He pressed his face into her back and smiled. At home, Bella rubbed him with herbs, dressed him in clean clothes, bought him books, gave him warmth. But she never changed the way she carried him. Her shoulders burned. Her waist ached. But when her stepmother asked, "Are you tired?" Bella replied, "Better pain than grief." And so she carried on. Day after day. Year after year. Like a woman holding her soul in reverse. The years passed. 3, 5, 7. The boy grew strong. He laughed loudly. He ran fast. He was never sick. People watched. He's still alive, they whispered. Shouldn't he be gone by now? But he was there, eating, growing, thriving. Still carried upside down. Even when his feet reached the ground. Even when he said, "Mama, let me walk." She smiled, kissed his cheek. Not yet. Then came the morning of his 10th birthday. He woke early. "Mama, I'm 10 now." Bella nodded. Slowly, she untied the red cloth. She lowered him gently, like something sacred. His feet touched the ground. She cupped his face and said, "You're safe now." That afternoon, the villagers came. Women knelt at her feet. "Forgive us," they whispered. Young girls brought yams, wrappers, gifts. "We mocked you," they said. "But you knew what we didn't." Bella said little. Just a nod, as if her soul had no more space for noise. Her son ran barefoot, laughing, his feet kissing the earth like it was welcoming him for the first time. Later, he asked, "Mama, why do they look at me like I'm something magical?" Bella smiled, soft and slow. "Because you're a story they never thought could be real." That night, as the moon lit the sky and the breeze brushed her face, Bella sat quietly by the door, not in sorrow, not in waiting, but in peace.